Good afternoon, traders. Good afternoon and happy Friday. Today is the 15th of September. We're halfway through the month here. 2017, of course. Let's get started with today's trading. And today we had a rather slow day. The markets sold off overnight. Just yesterday we were writing off, the possibility of North Korea affecting the markets. We haven't heard from North Korea in like 2 weeks, but I guess that's every 2 weeks that they'll have something new for us, and the market, gets sold off, and then they rally them back up. I mean, it's almost like a great dip buying opportunity. There's plenty of memes out there that say that King Jung or Ung or whatever his name is, they he's purposely doing this buying the dip himself. So let's take a look at the S&P 500 here for today. And we just made a new all-time high at 24.98. We do have an unfinished auction at that high, so I think we could here after, post-settlement, we might get maybe a little bit higher than 24.98, maybe, just maybe. Decent day today in the trading room, but only just had the one trade, and it came off of a very strange situation that we saw here. So taking a look at the footprint at and this one we're trying to get long here. You can see we can see a lot of numbers. That was the area to get all of these bars. This one, right? So it's called the footprint. And the footprint is literally a digital log. Pretty much early in the session we determined that it's probably in a trend, every right? single trade on a P-shaped distribution and on its way higher, probably trades. So it counts volume D followed by price on both the ask side and on the bid side. Place to buy it on both the ask side and on the bid side. And that brought a really interesting opportunity here. Trending up pattern, remember, at the open of the market, right on this bar. Okay, we saw something we haven't seen in a long time. So trending up. If you take a look and you'll find that it's mostly four-digit numbers. In a trending up pattern. Four-digit numbers. The idea was to get long, usually at VWAP or TWAP on a 30-minute period. No range extensions today. At a lot of these trying to get long at TWAP trading locations, right? A lot of absolutely unlucky. This probably would have been 1,906. The trade of the day for 2,000. We were trying to get long right at TWAP, right there. 48.76 was the exact number at that time. The very low of that bar. In fact, let me zoom in for you guys. But what's interesting is when you have greater than four-digit numbers, so right here, the very low, and here's where we started building a long 48.78. Okay. 48.78. Strangely enough, between two simple contracts at 48.76, this price, this price, this price, this price, and this price, so a total of 5 ticks. Come on, Crude, you could have done a total of 5 ticks, but it didn't, and then there were very 5-digit numbers. To make the largest of them being 19,686. No, now that's at 24.92. Would have been a spectacular trade. Exactly where I bought plus the market. But 19,686 contracts traded on the ask at that bar, at that price. 18,182 contracts traded on the bid. So there was definitely crude oil, a lot. Looks like a lot of trading going on inside of this Harvey rally. Little cluster, really taking off now. I mean, we traded as low as we don't even see 45 numbers 46, all that often. All the way at 49 throughout the entire day. We just saw them right there at the open, and of course right here at the close. And it just goes to show the volatility that's in the crude oil market. I mean, on any given day on the open, 100 plus ticks from high to low. I could even show you yesterday. There's no way a lot of get this many trades at these exact prices in crude oil. In such a tight range. It was pretty crazy. So we said, you know what? Rather than trying to buy 24.86, this one I took a trade in this one. Let's try to buy in with this volume, right? We had a lot of volume in there. trade here. The 50 to 200 lot trader, 50 to 2,000 lot trader
was also an inside day
with us. See yesterday
1 to infinity
was also buying into the market. So there was a lot more buyers and sellers.
Talking about an inside day
during this period and the opening. So 9 a.m. here's to 9:30 and 9:30 to 10.
Even right now,
we had
just all after the market.
A lot more buyers and sellers,
and we're still trading inside.
Let's just get long.
Let's looking for the inside day.
So I got long 24.92
before we traded
50,
lower.
And on this bar, we took off
pretty
our
much
trade at 24.96
saw
really for 4 points.
Right, so D-shaped distribution.
That was the
inside day. We want to be long just below value.
Else you could see
and
just
short just above
value.
This
looked like something.
Now, I didn't want to take a
short
trading because this market
looked like something
right now.
Remember, this is 30-minute period. So we have one.
But I didn't want to be long, so I had two contracts sitting here at
inside 4 hours.
Look at the tight trading range we had.
I think I made a mistake with this.
So we were
fortunate enough to have these tools, right? Have these indicators that show us, hey, look at all the buyers here. Look at all the buyers. And look at the bar, just the sheer amount of volume trading at these prices.
Early this morning,
probably half buyers in control.
It's,
you get long with the rest.
I put it in the wrong spot, so I missed an opportunity
for the rest
to get
of the time.
long
You can see it was just
area.
pretty silent.
After
nothing
the market came down into it,
really see exciting about
40
today,
to 41.
I guess
would have gotten me long right on that tail.
Looking at the profile,
46 could have gotten.
We figured, hey,
contract.
There's only one place to buy it.
50 ticks
yesterday here.
Really turns out to be about $500
profits.
Even on just
we'll try it again, but this time rather than buying the high.
But since we missed that one, I decided to cancel those trades there. I figured, you know what, if we come back to this low, we're more than likely going to trade lower and
500.
Probably going to go into this value area here.
So combining,
switching back over to profile view,
market profile,
value area low,
footprint,
and the low of the day here. Not that I really used the low of the day, it just happens to be coincidentally this value area also happens to be right there. So so I took it with a grain of salt and decided to get long between 38 and 36.
Sorry about that.
As you can see, that happens to be the absolute
so combining our footprint technology that's embedded.
By the time I took the trade, it was already like 115. This market closes at around 130.
Our candles,
not that it closes,
but
it settles at 130. Meaning that anything after 130 is post-settlement trading. And
we were able
to trading. There's usually a very
capture a trade
type
where
of trading
most of the volume was trading,
dies out.
And
so I knew the risk I was taking,
and I really coming in.
Probably wouldn't get much out of the trade.
I mean, I think the buyers,
I did manage to get
the idea with low volatility is pick a direction, buy it early in the open, and
so I got 2 contracts long at 38, and then 2 contracts long at
literally
what's you can see it traded as high after my fill
all-time highs.
40,
really
60,
slow down and remain.
My average
remain in a very tight consolidation
50, and it traded
pattern.
As
the first trade of the day is usually the only one that'll work.
I talked about
anything,
but I didn't take it off at that high. I actually took it off.
If you're proficient at it, great.
The reason being,
if you find yourself struggling with chop,
here,
these are the tools.
43 to 45 area,
cumulative tick volume indicator.
But on this bar right here at the 2 o'clock bar,
really great tools,
130
putting us on the right side of the market.
This bar right here.
All right, next up we got
we
crude
see this
oil.
big tail, but this tail was a lot longer. I mean,
we
traded all the way up there and then
buy
traded
on an inside
pretty much to make
strategy.
this bar into a doji
high of.
So I'm like, you know what? It's a big selling tail. I don't want to be part of it.
The
so
high of today and the low of today is inside.
I took 1 point out of the trade on 4 contracts.
The idea
$400
trading an inside.
Not a bad trade at all. Could have been a lot more. Wish it had been a lot more,
but
I'll take whatever I can get.
We tried to get long.
A profit
20 to 30
and
trade here 25 to 35
gold,
short.
But as you can see, and the market profile, I don't just draw lines. I use values based on market.
More sellers than buyers.
We can see
low using our footprint
technology.
Happens to be the low.
It also has
an imbalance tracker here, which counts every single trade and tells us how many more sellers than buyers.
Finally, we got the 30-year buyers and sellers. I had an order
on the
here,
color.
I canceled
you can also see
just simply because the market was just trading sideways all
if it's
day
strong
long.
buying, strong selling.
I don't want to be surprised later if it does sell off. We'll probably
here we can
go
see
lower.
negative 741 imbalance.
Me and the 30-year, we have
overall.
This
I think this
relationship,
is,
altogether. Sometimes I'm right on the trade, and sometimes
negative
I'm
728
wrong.
is
most
pretty
of the
weak
time
selling.
I make zero
considering
to no
we had
30 years.
how many contracts.
If I don't get in early on a trade, I don't want to get in at all. So D-shaped distribution.
Considering we traded
410,000
contracts. That's actually pretty good. Actually,
remember,
that's
V-shaped distribution
selling.
is
it's not the strongest selling
consolidation
of all,
pattern.
It's pretty good. It's, you know, out of
it might be hard to recognize for those of you who are new
a pretty low volume
market profile
for crude oil.
But
so no trade possible.
Bringing it back to something more familiar like candlesticks, consolidation. What is consolidation?
We're selling mostly
today.
The market
the overall
sideways,
market was selling, right? So look at the candlesticks,
and we know that
how they're trading sideways.
Tools.
So that's a V-shaped distribution. Then a V-shaped distribution
gives us an edge
down pattern.
Trading room,
and here's your trending down pattern, right? There's
we follow the volume. We follow the smart
here,
money.
A little bit of volume.
And we even
that's
follow
your
everybody else.
Now.
So let's see.
Software for
NinjaTrader 8
here next week
should be
so wonderful. You might not have to guess.
Same thing for the
S&P
500. Next week we have
what profile shape
monetary policy
all
in
you
the
can
US,
do is
right? We have the Fed
very
meeting
simply,
on Wednesday. So Tuesday into
with
Wednesday,
the click of a mouse,
we'll get the results of that.
Pretty much decipher and take a look at the distribution shapes.
One of the biggest
topics.
Have a D. All of Wall Street is going to be talking about
by a B.
I'm sure you'll hear about it on the news.
Pattern.
Next up was gold, and this one we missed a.
Not looking to get long,
golden opportunity.
This would have been the place to get long.
The idea was to find a place to sell
really,
it. So let me switch over to the profile view. And
it was too late in the day. I mean,
around 1 o'clock
is when the market got down to these levels.
Here's where we open. Here's
it's
where
too late.
This
market closes in 2 hours.
Completely.
It's not going to bounce back from there.
So you can see we
also
traded higher, and then we traded much.
They've been selling it all day long. And it's mostly been
what's nice about our market profile
on this day, we traded a lot lower.
We no longer have to guess what
kind of
distribution
buying
shape we have, whether it's P shape, B shape, or D shape.
Crazy.
And if you don't know what the distributions are,
not a lot of institutional.
It's just a normal distribution, right?
If you and then on this day, as the market was trading higher,
you'll know what a normal distribution is.
Whoever got long here was profit taking,
and then you'll have P-shaped distribution,
continued the profit
positively skewed distribution.
So you can see we
consolidated positively skewed normal distribution.
Tons and tons of institutional selling,
which is a negatively skewed normal.
Even if it's selling to close,
a P-shape usually.
And if you sell something, the price of the asset should fall down. So that should be another reason as to
why. If we're trending down, we want to find a place to sell it.
Especially that late in the day.
We want to find a place to buy.
So far, it closed at negative 15,000.
So here we have
still
two distributions.
Fresh selling.
I think
it's profit taking.
We have one here,
because
one here.
Profit taking is the same thing as selling. It's not really the time to get long at the moment.
Peaking
institutions are taking their profits
levels,
and they're selling. Why
using that, I'm just going to go ahead and click over the highest set of letters,
push lower from
and the software automatically.
So that's all the time I have for today.
So now I can see that I have
some of the trades I took for the day.
A consolidation, followed by a move.
What I'd like to do now is
for
those of you
who
are watching
followed by
the first time, I'd like to invite you guys
to
the website www.marketprofile.com and
switch over to the
hybrid
view,
and
the place to sell it is
you'll watch me trade
averages,
live every single day for those 14 days for those 2 weeks. You'll watch me trade live every single one of these markets plus other markets as well.
So it's a volume weighted move.
I trade the
volume weighted average price,
I trade the
and
euro,
a time weighted
average price. The Nasdaq,
many of us know what
VWAP
is,
and many
some
other
of us
contracts
have never even heard of TWAP. It's something that exists,
and also
we made it.
You'll also watch me.
We programmed it, but it's
something
it's been around. Just
time,
a lot of people rather use volume.
You'll watch me
time because volume
pretty
is
much.
I'll
teach, and you'll also watch me.
What I have found
use the indicators
through experience trading
in order to find these areas of value
where
I want to get
TWAP
long
is usually
short,
one
and
that
also
gets
teach you
the
the
best
strategies
reaction.
that we use based on.
In this case, though, I was betting on that.
Swing by
wasn't able to take a trip.
So
it's free. Find a place to buy.
Find a place to sell it.
Something that
place to sell it would be
volume or time. Moving averages.
Other than that, if you guys like this video
right into
on Facebook, make sure you
right to the
like,
tick,
and if you
and
want
then
comment or have
just sold off, took out the lows,
and
comment
box.
If a trader had gotten in right in there,
great
could have been
rest of your day.
7
we'll see everybody
point trade
tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
In literally 2 hours, less than 2 hours, 7 points in 2 hours. That translates to $700 with just one contract. Right, it would have been a fantastic trade. I had an order to go short where TWAP was at the time, which was over here around 32 something. I forget. I canceled the order. 32 something, and the right place to get in was around 31.30. So next time, I think what I'll do is I'll place a small order here, and then my normal size on the on the time weighted average price. You know, just in case a scenario like this happens, I could still have some exposure. Even just one contract makes you $700. That's not too bad. So that was the trade here. Looking at institutional order flow and volume, we had more sellers and buyers. That's obvious. We were trading lower, and but the institutional traders, they were either covering their shorts or buying. I think they were covering their shorts. They took it from negative 500 to pretty much flat on the day here, meaning that you know, there were an equal amount of buyers and sellers between 20 contract traders and greater, right? Those are usually the institutions. And then we have here the 30-year bond. This one was good for a small trade here. Mostly we had a D-shaped distribution for most of the session. We were looking to get long 54.24 to 28, looking to get short 56 to 56.04. As you can see, prices did make it to our long area. And I personally didn't take this trade. I think one trader in the trading room took the trade, and paid off pretty nicely here from 24 to 28, traded as high as 55.04, 55.03. You know, if you got in right at 24, that's about 12 ticks of profit, which isn't that bad on a market that pays $31.25. That's really, really good. 12 ticks. But other than that, the 30-year was another market that was just snoozing. I mean, look at it. I mean, all these hours, even in the overnight session, just sideways, 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 sideways. You know, Bueller, you know. Really nothing, absolutely nothing to do here in this market. So the trades were really in gold and the S&P 500. Those were the trades of the day. I caught the S&P 500 trade. I was not able to catch the gold trade, unfortunately. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're on Facebook Live, make sure to give us a like on the video if you enjoyed the video, or leave us a comment with a question, or any comment really. We'll answer your questions as soon as we get to them. And if you'd like to know more, you can go ahead and visit us, www.themarketprofile.com. And I encourage you guys to take advantage and claim your 14-day free trial if you're a new member. You get a 14-day free trial to the room where you can watch me trade live, market profile information. You can watch me trade, manage my trades live, real time. And not only that, but we also have volume information that's very useful. We have institutional order flow information, which can really help ease the anxiety of a lot of traders. I know most people, when they put on a trade, they get very nervous, right? They get a little shaky. You know, they start questioning themselves. You know, they don't know whether it's, you know, the market's going to go with them or against them. And, you know, our order flow indicators really help ease that anxiety, because, you know, on this trade here specifically, we knew we were in good shape. And I mean, I don't think any of us in the trading room had any anxiety about getting long inside right there. We knew that we had buyers behind us, and you know, when we have buyers, usually the markets go higher. If we have sellers, usually the markets go lower, right? That's usually the way it goes. Not always, but usually the way it goes. And you know, we have some great tools. Come check them out. And with that said, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Enjoy your weekends, and I look forward to coming back next week. Thanks, guys.